This is the ABC Evening News with Harry Reasoner and Barbara Walters.
Good evening. Our top stories tonight. A government banking official concedes the Senate was misled about Bert Lance's record as a banker. The State Department says the Palestinians must be heard at Mideast peace talks.
Also, the America's Cup races, the World Series of Yachting, begin tomorrow. We'll look at the two competing boats. And the TV series Soap has aroused a storm of controversy. We'll have a report. The White House said today that 3 of President Carter's top assistants knew last January, but did not tell the president, that Bert Lance and his family had written nearly $500,000 worth of overdrawn checks. That revelation capped a day of disclosures in the Lance affair. Earlier, a key federal banking official admitted to the Senate Government Affairs Committee that his recommendation last January for Lance's confirmation as budget director was misleading. For that, Dan Kortz was in Washington.
The former acting controller of the currency, Robert Bloom, under attack for concealing damaging facts about Lance, told the committee that he reported all he knew to Lance's lawyer and an official of the Carter administration transition team.
I believed at all times thereafter that the president-elect and members of the transition team responsible for appointments were aware or should have been aware of the most serious problems known to me at that time in connection with Mr. Lance's personal transactions.
Bloom's statement, never denied by the men involved, poses the question of whether Carter aides withheld information from the president. What's more, Senator Percy of Illinois warned the Lance case is undermining public confidence in the government.
The general public would feel that what goes on behind closed doors is not fiction, but fact. What has gone on and transpired in this case is not the standard that those top careerists adhere to.
Earlier, committee staffers got their first look at Justice Department files that show Lance used airplanes owned by his Georgia banks as if the planes belonged to him personally. He and his family took vacation trips in the planes, his children were flown to their schools, and Lance took a plane load of Georgia politicians to the Democratic National Convention. Lance admitted he made the trips, but claimed they were all related to getting business for the banks. Meanwhile, the president-elect of the American Banking Association strongly denied that Lance's behavior was typical of all bankers.
I don't know whether Bert Lance has done anything wrong, because I don't know for sure what he has done. But I do know that this whole affair is casting a pall over the banking industry. I do know that it may give banking a black eye if it goes unchallenged.
The senators will pursue the question of an administration cover-up at tomorrow's hearings, but White House correspondent Sam Donaldson already has some additional details about who knew what and when.
President Carter made a brief appearance at a staff picnic on the White House South Lawn this noon, but reporters were barred from getting anywhere near him to pursue the question of what he knew about Lance's activities and when he learned it. Lance himself could be seen from a distance leaving a cabinet meeting, but that was the extent of his availability on the subject. So it was left to Press Secretary Jody Powell to talk about what was known way back then about Bert Lance. Powell said he couldn't add a thing on the question of what the president knew, but he acknowledged that in early January, he read Lance's FBI report, which contained the information that Lance and his family had overdrawn their bank accounts by a total of about $450,000 over a 2-year period. Not only did Powell read the FBI report, but top political aide Hamilton Jordan and White House counsel Robert Lipschutz read it also. Powell said none of them told the president. Powell told reporters that he wasn't alarmed by the overdraft information because none of the officials from the Comptroller's office and Justice Department quoted in the FBI report said they were alarmed. They told the FBI that Lance was not going to be prosecuted because he had not intended to defraud anyone and because the practice had been stopped. And one official, Donald Tarleton, the Atlanta director of the Comptroller's office, told the FBI that such overdraft practices were not uncommon in rural banks. Hamilton Jordan told reporters that Lance's reputation in Georgia had been excellent. Apparently, a lot of other people told the FBI the same thing. For, said Jordan, if you read that FBI report 100 times, it would never have raised the question of fitness. Powell and Jordan seemed to agree, however, that if the same information had come their way about a stranger,